Oh, hello. Oh, need to be.
I got a sandwich. We're a little late today, and I have to eat before I can take my medicine. And I took my medicine before I ate, so I could hurry up and eat. So
yes,
and I
didn't get to do my mustache, so you get messy mustache Mark today.
Well, here's the thing, right? We had to, for anybody who has a cat, you know how cats are with their food. They eat on a schedule, and we didn't realize late last night that the cats were almost out of food. So we had to rush today when the pet store opened to go get Bubber's food. Otherwise, he would have ripped the entire studio up while we're trying to stream. So that is why we are a little bit late today. But guys, happy Friday. During Critique Week, you guys were here when hopefully you were here when I opened up my very neglected Etsy shop that we use for testing and experimenting. I've got to have a shop that I can test stuff in. And because I don't spend a lot of time in the shop, I realize there is a lot that needs to be updated for fall and the holiday season. We usually don't make a lot of sales in the spring because we just completely neglect our shop in the spring and summer. And then when, fall and winter come around, we tend to spend a little bit more time in it. But I was almost embarrassed looking at the shop because I have not spent any time in it. It's been a while. So I figured, why not, rather than me go and fix everything off camera and in shame of the shop that I've neglected, maybe it would be fun for us to do that together so that we can walk through some steps to get your shops ready for fall. Now, over at eRank, we're already starting to see the holiday rush. And honestly, this is the first year that we've seen it happen this early. Where is my cursor? Is it on way up there? Oh, there it is. So let's go ahead real quick. Oh, and for those who are asking about the little badges, the little crowns, those are new top fan badges that YouTube's experimenting with. So the more you comment, the higher up in the ranking you are. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to search Halloween, and you can go ahead and share. Just to give you guys an idea, we can see in the trend alert that this keyword, Halloween, has been popular on Etsy over the past week. Now, last week we did Halloween trends for the bean. On Tuesday, I did a Halloween trend report with more trends. This means because people started searching, let's see, I mean, honestly, June, 26,000, that's quite a few searches. We had 21 in April, but Halloween 26, and then if we look over here, that's more than last year. July, we were up to 55K of last year. So I guarantee, since we have our trend alert now indicating that the keyword has been popular, we're going to see a more accelerated spike this year than we did last year. That also leads me to believe, since we're gaining that momentum early, especially with all the Summerween trends, we're probably going to see Thanksgiving for those in the US and Christmas start to accelerate a little faster than what we have noticed in years past. Now, one thing I do want to point out, we have a new feature. I'm going to be covering it in a short video on Tuesday, but if you switch over to the keyword tool beta, we'll go ahead here. Actually, as long as our tables don't, let me close out this window. There we go. Okay, as long as our tables still function right about there. If you click here to try out the new version of the keyword tool, there's actually 2 new indicators in here. So let's just search for Halloween again. Why didn't it scale this up as well? That's very odd. Look right here. So obviously we have the trending in search. We've displayed this now as a badge on the new keyword tool. Check out this new metric. This is something that Anthony was so proud of. We have been talking about this when we went to meet with Anthony in Columbus. He was super excited about this, and they rolled it out, I believe, early this week. High conversion, basically what this is telling us is that people who are searching for the word Halloween are finding items through that query and buying them. This is the first time that we have ever had an indicator of purchase intent. So normally we can see when people are searching for things, but there's always the question, well, just because they're searching, like, are they window shopping? You know, are they just seeing what's available? How do we know that these searches are actually converting into money? Now we have that high conversion indicator that tells us that not only are people searching for Halloween right now, they're converting, they're buying. So that is huge. But the whole point I'm trying to make is that our Etsy shop is in the bookish niche. We officially license with different authors. Every time I start a new business, there's always an objective to learn something new that I can gain experience in and teach to you guys. So Books and Cold Brews, the reason that we started Books and Cold Brews is because Michelle, my virtual assistant and co-owner of Books and Cold Brews, she is huge into the publishing niche. She does publishing for authors. Her mom has wrote a bunch of children's books. She published my science fiction book for me. And I got her super into the romantasy, you know, Court of Thorns and Roses and things like that. So we decided, you know, neither of us have a lot of time. Let's open a POD shop so I could learn a little bit more about running a POD shop because I'd never done that before. I'd always been a handmade seller. And let's license with authors so we can learn what the process of official licensing is like, because a lot of people want to, you know, sell products that are based on popular media, but when it comes to selling things like Disney, it's almost impossible. So that's why we decided to start Books and Cold Brews. But again, we're both busy people. We both work at E-Rank. I'm a manager at E-Rank. Michelle is helping me over in the alphas as well. She helps with like my social medias and stuff. With that in mind, we don't pay nearly as much attention to this shop as we should. So today I thought it would be fun to go through and do a little bit of spritzing up and getting it ready for the holiday season. So we're going to start with the aesthetic elements and then we're going to work our way down. Before we get started, Mr. Moore, did we have any questions? You can stop sharing for a moment if... No?
No.
Are we good? Okay.
Yeah, we're good. And yes, those are top fan badges. You get them for interactions and chats. You get more for super chats and stuff, but we don't have that enabled.
Okay. All right. Is someone being mean?
No.
Oh, okay. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's share. Okay. So obviously, this banner needs to go. So let's go ahead and pop into Canva. And let's do something for fall. I want to keep the same general aesthetic of my banners, but I want to add in some autumn elements. Let's see. This was when the new Crescent City launched. So I don't know if I want to go that direction. I think I want to stay with the fantasy. Let's go ahead and we'll duplicate this page. And first and foremost, let's get rid of this snow and these little red elements. And then let's go into elements and we will search for, let's do like watercolor autumn. Sorry guys, I got to stretch across the keyboard.
You can move it more towards you.
That's okay. And let's see. Let's maybe try a couple different ideas. I actually like this one a lot more. We'll add in just some elements for fall. I don't like that this leaf is cut off. Why would they do that? Let's crop it in so that we're cutting off that leaf. And then we'll add this here. And then we'll go ahead and duplicate and flip it. And we'll stick it here and we will drop it to the back. Drop it to the back. Let's see. Let's look and see if there's anything else we want to add for fall. Remember, we're thinking bookish and we're thinking our niche here. So this looks more like a leaf than a tree. I don't know. I don't know if I like... I feel like this is kind of adding too much. Maybe a pumpkin. And then, ooh, let's do a watercolor pumpkin coffee since it's books and cold brews. Yes. Something, well, I don't like that style. How about this one? This one's a little too cartoony. Yeah. That fits. Okay. And then we will drop it back a layer. And then I also want to add in, ooh, actually I might do this one. I know it feels a little early, but I think that's cute. Okay, and then I want to add in some, let's see if we can find some fog, like.
Fog.
And then what I'll do is I will drop this just in front of the trees.
Yeah, just dole it a little bit.
And then fade it out just a wee bit.
Honestly, even when the trees aren't there, that would be a good thing to leave there. It looks good behind the Smoky Mountainside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then...
gives it that fantasy mountain aesthetic.
Right here. I actually want to take the dragon and drop it back a layer. Okay. I think we're looking pretty fall-y. I think we could move his little head. What do you think? Looking good for fall?
Yeah, I actually really like it.
Okay. All right. So when we are exporting our Etsy banners, hopefully you guys have Canva Plus, because if not, they're going to make it real hard for you to get the size you want. I always drag it to the largest size. Oh, can they even see? Oh, yeah, they can. Drag it to the biggest size, because if you are using an Etsy banner template and you export it at whatever size it defaults to, yeah, 1200 by 300, it's not big enough. I always drop it or switch it to the biggest size, export our current page, and we will download. I don't know what all's in your download, so I might need to...
I cleared it.
Oh, did you?
I cleared it, yeah. I knew you would be doing stuff on here today, so...
All right. So we will go in, and we'll go ahead and click to edit our background. We will delete this one. Will this immediately open downloads, though? Yes, okay.
Okay.
Add in the new one. Looks pretty good. We'll go ahead and
I don't
save.
think I have anything on this computer that they can't see. Should be fine.
Looks good. All right. Officially licensed bookish merch inspired by Book Talk. Let's see. We want to get a listing in here. Let's add another listing. Let's see. Let's do... Let's do a From Blood and Ash. Blanket. Hoodie. There we go.
I have 14 Halloween items in my shop with 250 items. Will this even be noticed?
I mean, when someone's looking over, like, at your actual storefront, potentially no, unless you are, rearranging your shop. But the goal is to rank and search for people who are looking for those specific.
Yeah. Most people who are shopping on Etsy are finding things through search. Return customers are the people that are coming and looking at your shop most of the time.
So I'm going to work on doing some rearranging. We've definitely got some Christmassy items showing front and center. I do want to leave those pretty high up. but I don't want them like, I don't want them right at the top. I want to do a bit of rearranging. So let's see.
Is now the best time to change the banner to fall? Yeah, I think it's probably, you're getting about that time. I mean, anytime you start to see the stores start to move their items out for the seasons,
Yeah.
that's about the time that you need to do it. Maybe a couple weeks after that, since they seem to be doing it earlier every year.
And
We've
then,
got stores that already have Christmas stuff out.
yeah,
It's like,
I want to move some of the more Halloween-y type designs to the front of my store. Let's see. Like the Monster Romance Book Club, we'll move that to the front. Try to get more of the fall stuff towards the front, and we can move some of these ornaments towards the back. This is actually something that sells pretty well, so I want to put it a little farther. Same with this one. This one sells pretty well. Some of these ornaments can drop back to the back page until or a little closer to Christmas. We'll move some of these fall themed items towards the front. This is a fall themed item. I'm glad that we're doing this because
needed done anyway.
it needed done. Well, it's always the conundrum of, do I do what I should do as a good Etsy shop owner, or do I wait and do it on stream so that I have some content for people?
Plus, this is a lightweight topic, and it's the 4th of July, so the audience is like half of what it normally is.
Oh, of course. That's exactly what I was thinking. I considered us not even doing it today, but I figured, you know what? We have an international audience.
I ain't got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cook some steaks tonight.
Yeah. All right. Oh, Halloween Akatar. We launched that way late last year. Let's move that towards the front. Let's see. I think this one can probably move to the back page. This one can move. Trying to be smart about what gets moved to the front. Sunday Scaries can move to the front. And I believe we have another sweatshirt, another Halloween-y style sweatshirt. I thought. Yeah, this one. And that one, but we've never had any sales on that one, so I'm not all that worried. Okay, so for the most part, I think we got it. Okay, so let's see. Let's try to do, again, some rearranging. I do want to take... Alex is playing Helldivers too?
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know why my Steam notifications are on, but sure.
We'll do a bit of rearranging, get some sweatshirts up at the top.
Hold on. I'm going to go ahead and quickly disable that. I'm just going to exit Steam.
You're fine. My nose is just like...
Because that is obnoxious, and he usually jumps in and out of games.
Okay. And then we'll get our sweatshirts all positioned towards the front. Spooky tumbler. We'll do a little coffee cup.
You don't have to change your banners for the season, but there's no reason not to. It doesn't affect your SEO or your placement at all.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not something that you're obligated to do.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it's really just about making your customers aware that like you are active and willing to change things up. I think I like that our shop can match the seasons. And then the last one.
That's another one of those human elements to me.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm not just here for money. I'm here to sell things and celebrate my shop.
Right.
Like, I love my business.
I'm going to also move this one. Though it's not fall, the photo is very fall, and this one is very popular in our shop. So we will move this one towards the front. Okay. I think that is good.
I rearrange my shop periodically, but when I log into the Etsy app and view my shop, it's all mixed up and nothing is the same.
That's because it's based on your preferences. So once you start clicking around, things will end up moving. Like, for example, if I clicked on coffee tumblers, it would start generating the coffee tumblers towards the top as I was organically browsing.
How do you get to the screen to reorder listings?
While you're in your shop editor from your homepage, there's a button that says rearrange items right here. There's a lot of people who don't know that, who don't realize that you can rearrange.
This is one of those things that, while you shouldn't go in and change everything all at once, if you're still new or you don't know all the features, especially when Etsy makes an interface change like this, go through all the menus. Click on all of the things. Just don't ever click anything that says save unless you know what you're doing. But go through and figure out what all the different things do, because more often than not, you're missing out on an essential feature that could give you a leg up.
Okay, I think I'm pretty happy with how it looks. Where is just the normal... Do you need to save? I think you just click view on Etsy, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Well, let me make sure. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Is there a section in HA on banner or graphic creation? It's like going over how to do the super creative shop things you whizzed through.
Yeah.
Yes, and we also have a buttload of videos on how to use Canva on here too, that we do pretty much the same thing.
Module 6, I speed through making a banner for the Itty Bitty Bean shop that we use as an example. Okay, so a couple other things that I want to quickly do. I'm taking a scroll through right now, and
Mockup slap.
So,
especially your
they're not mock-ups though.
They're your mock-ups. That's my point.
Well, mock-up would indicate a fake image.
Oh my God,
my product.
Starla.
You know why my product photos are so good? Because I took Christina Nicole's Light Challenge.
Ooh.
Which is opening. I think she's running that again in August. So
okay,
I think
get in on it.
And for Handmade Alpha Academy students, obviously take the Product Photography Essentials workshop in the bonuses vault, because that's how I achieve these awesome photos. But this one in particular, I thought that these were a really great idea. They're little book stickers for a planner for those who like to, but we have not sold any of these.
That's crazy.
So I'm actually, because of that, I'm going to see if, first of all, let's get rid of this holiday deadline. I'm going to see if there is a better...
That's probably in all of your listings too.
Maybe this one. And then we adjust the thumbnail. I don't know. I feel like this isn't the best photo either.
Why would they put physics on the frickin' picture?
Oh, how it slides?
Yeah, you can just throw it. Like, why would you put... That's such a useless code. My God. Is it bad to leave your holiday shipping deadlines and your FAQs all year long? I tend to leave them there and remove them everywhere else, but wondering if it looks bad. It can make you look inactive.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I've left them in my photos, like in my normal listing photos, and people are still shopping, so...
yeah, we don't have any, like, empirical data to justify it, but to me it makes it look like you're like, if I'm placing an order, especially on a smaller shop, and I see that they still have holiday stuff, I usually turn around, because I'm thinking, oh, I've been burned before where I placed an order in a shop and it just never shipped. So probably not a bad thing, but you never know who you're turning away. Plus you can just copy and paste them into a text document in a work folder on your computer. That way, if you need to put them back in, you can just paste them back in during the holiday season.
All right, I'm going to experiment with this photo just to see if maybe having the book off to the side helps. Okay, so next thing I want to do, I actually do want to go in and adjust a couple of these now that I'm looking. This is where I was experimenting a bit. Let's do some shuffling around.
Spooky. Sunday scaries.
What I really hate is that you can see my real nose through the...
That's the scary part.
Yeah, that's what makes it so scary. Okay. Let's and then get rid of that. I'll go through and get rid of, I won't do the holiday deadline removal here with all of you live. I feel like that's a bit redundant, but
anybody else get the Sunday scaries? I get it when I drink too much
cute.
coffee.
I don't know. I don't like these mock. You can tell that this is a mock-up, right? Can you tell that this one's a mock-up?
No.
No, you can't?
Mm-mm.
Do you think...
From this distance, no.
Do you think that it fits the shop? You think I should leave it?
I think it fits, especially for the fall theme.
More so than me wearing it?
Yes.
Oh, so you don't like me wearing it?
No.
With my cool 80s cover of Twilight or New Moon. My 80s horror cover.
I mean, yes, if it wasn't the size page.
Oh, I can crop it. But I don't know. I think you're right though. I think that this one actually gives a clearer image. Okay, well, we'll leave that one.
Leave it.
Fine, I'll leave it. Okay, I think that we're...
Do you ship to the UK?
I do. I think that we're good. I think that everything looks all right. You know what's crazy is out of all of these, the listing that sells the best is this one, and this is a completely mocked up image. Okay, so now...
Because it freaking had to be.
Yeah.
We tried taking pictures on the garage, but the wind would catch it because it's so freaking huge.
We ordered one that was way too big. But so then I did the size chart. Starla is very short. Don't make the same mistake and order a giant one. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's get into the more keywordy stuff. I'm going to go... Hold on a minute. I need to expand out the menu. There we go. No, you're good. You're good. And let's go into... Okay. Let's go into... I want listing optimization, and let's go into listing audits. And let's take a peek and see if there's any quick wins. I'm sure that, you know, there's at least a couple quick wins. I usually will purposefully leave a couple listings with like missing tags just so I have at least one if I ever need one for a video. It never fails that when I need to record a video to show off a tool, or Anthony's like, oh, you know, we added this. And I'm like, cool, I'll make a video about it. But then I have no way to show it because I am a perfectionist building out my listings. So anyway, oh, come on. Eventually we'll change out, since we got rid of our cartoon characters, eventually we'll change out the graphics on these. But for now, you still have Anthony in various vehicles. Well, while we're waiting for that, let's go ahead and maybe we will make sure that we're happy with this one. I think that December 10th is typically a pretty good day. For holiday deadlines. I'm actually going to move this file towards the top so that I can find it quickly when I am ready to put this in my shop. I will probably add this in. I'll probably add it back in around October 1st, I think would be a good day. To start adding in things like holiday deadlines, just so people have an idea, you know, when they are ready to place those orders. So I'll move that to the top so it's easy to find. I'm just double checking to see if there's anything else that I want to play around with when it comes to our photos. Man, these photos here, for these hooded blankets, it was like a 90-degree Fahrenheit, obviously, but it was like a 90-degree day. So while I look all cute and cozy, I was burning alive so that I could create these mock-ups. But okay, here we go. So let's go ahead and adjust our columns. First of all, what I want to see is SEO tips. I want to see tag count. let's see. I'm trying to get rid of some stuff so that I can condense my columns here. Well, I think that this is good. Okay, let's go ahead. And then we will shrink it down so we can see. Okay, so got quite a few items that have not sold that I could probably go in and do some tweaking on. Actually, this isn't true. This item has sold. I need to bring this up to Anthony. Somebody else noticed this. This item sold quite a bit. Very strange. Okay, I'll bring that up with Anthony. Let's see. Visibility score 0%. There's something funky going on. All right, tag count 13, 13, 13. Maybe I should refresh the page. I feel like it didn't actually refresh my data. There we go. I was gonna say, there's something weird going on. Okay, that looks a little better. I was gonna say, I know that we've sold this one at least a handful of times. Now, let's go through. This one's got a good visibility score. Let's see, SEO tips 3 on this one. This one is never sold, which is odd because these 3 items have the same design, but it's always the sticker that sells. Visibility score on these 2 is relatively low, even though the design is the same. We will continue going through to see if there's anything else that stands out. Ah, this listing's a B. Maybe there's something we can do here. It's got all of its tags, decent amount of views. Visibility score actually isn't terrible. SEO tips 3. Total sales 2. And I'm not tracking changes. Oh, because I can only do 50. Let's go ahead and go in and do a listing audit on this one and see if there's anything that we can do to spice it up. Now, it has sold twice, so we want to be careful, but I'm pretty sure those sales were a while ago. Okay, so let's take a little peek. This is our dog bandana featuring Amy. Let's see. This is a short phrase that describes your listing, so we want our superstar keyword for this particular listing. I think that for this one, I'll just do a Court of Thorns and Roses. And this will help us a little bit. Okay, obviously it's in the title. Oh, it's not in the description. Interesting. Okay, so let's go ahead and find that dog bandana. Edit our description. Get rid of our holiday delivery thingy. Let's see. Stylish. Court of Thorns and Roses. Dog bandana. Okay.
Whole stream fall apart?
Yeah, the whole stream fell apart because you weren't here. Okay, so we've added that to our description. Title, make sure you put your most important keywords near the start. We've already done that. This listing has keywords that already appear in categories or tags. Not necessary because we're trying to do some exact matching. Review the spelling of words. Akatar is going to get flagged as a spelling error. Consider adding a video. That's something that we did not do. Consider adding additional keywords for materials used in your listings. Which obviously are materials there. We only have one material to edit. I'm going to go back in though. And I think what I'm going to do is just reduce this to Akatar dog bandana. And then we'll add Night Court somewhere else in. Officially licensed Sarah J. Maas Night.
You got your opposites on there.
Night Court merch from A Court of Thorns and Roses. Okay. And we'll lead with Akatar dog bandana. I'm still pretty happy with thumbnail. I'm not going to make any changes to that. Let's go down and review our tags. Just to make sure that we're happy with it. Night Court Sentry. I'm going to get rid of that. Akatar Dog Bandana. Bookish Pet Clothing. Sarah J. Maas merch. Let's go in to E rank and let's just see of Thorns and Roses. And let's just search dog. I was thinking like Halloween costumes. You know what I mean? Like bookish Halloween costumes for your dog. But I don't know if there's a market for that.
Nope.
November,
then again, it doesn't necessarily
February.
mean that it doesn't exist. It might just not be data.
Akatar dog. Let's put this in our, not in our Pashmina list. Let's put this in our bookish list. And we'll save it. Akatar dog merch. Akatar dog tag.
Excuse me.
What if we extend this out to a Court of Thorns and Roses, and we actually do the full name rather than the acronym? Big November spike, but only 10 searches. A Court of Thorns and Roses dog. Akatar dog. Dogs and books. Okay. And we already have Akatar dog in here. What about... You know what might be easier is to do the bulk keyword tool. Court of Thorns and Roses pet. A Court of Thorns and Roses dog. Let's see. A Court of Thorns and Roses dog. A Court of Thorns and Roses pet. Bookish dog. Bookish pet. Just to see. Sometimes your spacebar double spaces on its own. I noticed that when I was typing.
The Switch might need... I mean, I play video games, so spacebar is like one of the most used keys on the keyboard.
Oh, God, look at that. Awful. Terrible. Akatar pet. Oh, let's see. We only have... Woo! That's a hard sell. Okay, well... I think that we're... Man... I think Akatar Pet is just as likely to rank as Akatar Dog. Bookish isn't anywhere. So I'm actually going to just Court of Thorns and Roses Pet. And we will try to exact match for that. But Halloween pet outfit, Mosverse gift. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and publish the changes on this one. And then I wonder how quickly we update this. I'm going to refresh, and then I probably need to click the refresh data button. Oh, no. It counts it immediately. Okay. Grade is still a B. No biggie. We're leading, though, with Akatar Dog Bandana, so... Okay. I'm going to pop into our health check as well. Let's have some fun with this. Okay. Total issues, 10, 9 spelling. Oh, that's because I use FBAA from Blood and Ash. All right, 1 missing tag. Well, that's an easy fix. So let's go ahead and take care of that right quick. All right, from Blood and Ash blanket, from Blood and Ash hoodie, Jennifer Armentrout from Blood and Ash, Christmas, bookish gifts, Flesh and Fire book, Poppy and Castile from Blood and Ash blanket hoodie. Please remember that you have to be officially licensed to be able to use bookish terms like these in your listings. Let's try the keyword tool and let's just do the acronym for From Blood and Ash and see if we can find any that I'm not already using, because we listed this last summer and I don't think I've done anything else with it. since then. Sweatshirt, maybe. Waller. Merch. Do we have the word merch in here? Merch. Bookstagram merch. We do. Let's do the full name. From Blood and Ash. This is why I never do like keyword research sessions live, because I feel like they are not entertaining at all. What's really funny is when I'm doing keyword research sessions by myself, I talk just as much. Mark he's always like, what do you do? What did you say? Did you need me? I'm like, no. I'm talking to myself. Blood Forest. Okay. I will take that one, because I do not think that we have Blood Forest in there. Or maybe we do. No, we don't. Okay. Looks good. I'm going to go ahead and publish the changes on this one. Let's see. Let's go to spelling issues, one word tag. What's the one word tag that I'm using on this one?
Does it not show if you...
No, I got to go into listing audit to see it, but what is the one word tag? Shadow Singer is the one word tag.
Oh, well, you have to have that.
Okay, so it just uses up most of the character space. Okay, so that's excusable. Missing images, that's because these are mock-ups. We don't have physical items for these. Spelling issues are usually author names and things like that, so I can ignore. Trying to see if there's anything other than images and spelling issues. Any missing tags? Doesn't look like it. Actually, I think I can sort by missing tags. I can. Okay, this one has a missing tag. So let's go in, see what we have for here. Sunday Scaries, bookish sweatshirt, cute and spooky, pastel ghost, pastel Halloween, Halloween shirt. Lots of repetition here, but again, trying to exact match for some of these. Reading sweater, book talk gifts, fall crew neck, autumn reader, book club gift, book lover. Let's... Trying to think. Bookish sweatshirt, pastel Halloween. What about... I'm thinking like horror reader or something like that. Sorry if I'm giving you guys whiplash toggling between the two different keyword tools. Horror reader, horror readers. Spooky reader. Romantasy reader, spooky reader, thriller reader. These are, again, low search, but they'll still broad match with other terms. Horror shirt. Oh. Do I want to go with thriller? Which has less competition but less searches? Or horror, which has a decent amount of searches, but the competition is astronomical.
The competition is at the highest it can be.
Because thriller will mix with like thriller gifts, thriller merch, and things like that. I'm going to go ahead and do thriller. Okay. Go ahead and publish the changes on this one. Cool. There we go. Where's my actual health check? I must have used this page. Okay. Looks like these aren't updating right away. So let's go back to our home page, refresh our data, wait again. In the meantime, where's my actual storefront? There we go. Give it a little refresh. Okay, take a little peek. See if there's anything else. This cup is so cute, but I don't think that the photos that I took of it are doing it justice. However, I think this is the clearest photo I have. This one I might want to reshoot the photos. I'm just trying to see if there's any quick wins. You know what I mean? Like super quick wins. Okay. Is our data refreshed? Hey, badges came back. Yay. These have been out of commission for about a week now, so they must have just brought these back this morning. Okay, so let's go back into listing optimization, health check. Okay. No missing tags. Perfect. Let's sort by the most issues, missing images, spelling issues. Okay, not too bad. I think I'm pretty satisfied with these. I'm going to go back to listing audits. Close out some of these unnecessary tabs here. I'm a tab monster.
Yes, you are.
Okay, let's sort by grade.
The amount of times I've come over to your computer and you're like, something isn't working, and there's like 60 tabs open. Like, I wonder why nothing's working. RAM is just screaming.
So these are our only B grade listings. I'm trying to see if there are any. Let's actually sort by visibility scores. 9%. Okay. Let's maybe do some playing around with these 9% listings because I feel like we could do something with these. Pop open some of these. We'll start here. Especially since these are kind of like they're black cats and cauldrons and things. Let's take a peek. Okay. Superstar keyword. Book blanket. And I feel like we're missing a major opportunity here by not having the option or the keyword Halloween. I think it's because we listed these after Halloween last year. Okay, so let's do black cat, cottagecore, book blanket, mushroom, autumn bookish gift for readers. Where could I get the word Halloween in here? Black cat, cottagecore, book blanket, mushroom. I don't feel like mushroom is a necessary term in here. Halloween, autumn, bookish gifts for readers, I think is a better term. Okay. And then let's go back to our listing audit for this and see what else there is. Book blanket, book blanket, book blanket. Most important keywords towards the start. Black cat, cottagecore, book blanket. I wonder if we could move cottagecore. Black cat, book blanket. Halloween, autumn, cottagecore, bookish gifts for readers. It's a bit keyword spaghetti, but you could kind of read it as a sentence. Black cat, book blanket in purple. Halloween, autumn, cottagecore, bookish gifts for readers. View the spelling, high quality wallet image. Oh, Shush. Video. I definitely do need a video of these. And materials. Okay. Lots of broad matching taking place, which is why you're seeing average search volume so low. Keep in mind that Etsy's going to broad match these in every possible combination. So cottagecore will get matched with autumn bookish gifts to make cottagecore gifts, or bookish cottagecore, or witchy bookish gifts. Those will all broad match. Okay, I think I'm actually happy with these changes. I'm going to go ahead and publish these and just to see. Now, visibility score will never increase right away because your visibility score is based on the historical data from the date that you created the listing and its overall visibility. So it can take a really long time for visibility score itself to increase. What I really want to see change over time is the total views of these listings. Visibility score will change in time as the views increase. But okay. I'm going to go ahead and do this one now. And I think that because some of the changes that we're going to make are going to be relatively similar, I really want to add Halloween into this one. I think I'm just going to do some similar changes across these. Now, normally, guys, I tell you all the time, don't make a bunch of SEO changes at once. What I'm doing right now is changing listings that aren't bringing me any traffic anyways. They're not doing anything for me. They've got like no views at all. That's fine. What you don't want to do is go in and tweak a bunch of listings that may be getting views, maybe performing a little bit, because obviously you risk cutting off your flow of traffic. Trying to see. There's a better image. I guess these are fine. Okay. Black Cat Witchy Book Blanket. I'm going to get rid of Witchy. Black Cat Book Blanket. And I'm going to change it to Witchy Purple. Cozy. I'm going to get rid of Cozy. And I'm going to do Halloween. Okay. Again, just testing and experimenting. Maybe it would be fun to come back in like, what, a week or so? 2 weeks, 3 weeks? And see how these changes did. Black Cat Witchy. We'll get rid of that again. Book Blanket. In Witchy Blue. Cottagecore. We'll add Halloween, Cottagecore, Autumn Bookish Gifts for readers. Okay. All right. One more. This one I think has sold in the past. This one's my favorite. Black Cat Halloween Book Blanket. I'm wondering... This one I think is fine. I don't think we actually even need to change this one. Let's filter by Halloween.
Have you tried using dark academia for some of your listings? It seems to fit. Yeah.
Yeah, quite a few of them do have dark academia.
Excuse me. Is it a good time to update products for people going to college?
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're actually a little behind on that, but yeah, I definitely would. This one actually isn't too bad because we already have the Halloween terms in here. I might leave this one alone.
When does pumpkin spice stuff start? Probably in about a month.
Oh, yeah.
End of August. Well, here,
I'm going to experiment with a different thumbnail.
Late August, early September, yeah.
Black Cat Halloween book blanket. Autumn bookish gifts. Autumn. Maybe we do witchy bookish gifts, since witchy appears to be one of the terms that we're using quite frequently here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and close out the listing audits on the book blankets. Double check. Cozy Black Dragon Scale reading blanket with. Valentine's gift. Let's go in and fix these. A lot of these probably have terms like that. We'll go ahead and pop these open, pop these open, pop these open, pop these open. Okay, let's see. Valentine's gift. Let's do Cozy Gold Dragon reading scale blanket, crushed velvet and white Sherpa underside. Let's change this to... Do we want to switch it to Christmas already? I think it's a little early. You know what we're going to do? Just for the heck, just to see. Let's just see if anybody's searching for Christmas already. I don't think so. I think that Halloween, it's already a little early, but you never know. If we're going to get ahead, we're going to get ahead. Looks like, oh, well, I don't know. July last year, June this year is kind of knows. Wait. Been popular on Etsy over the past week. Is it because of Christmas in July? Let's try the new keyword tool. Are they high conversion? No way. Christmas is really converting right now. That's insane.
Surprised by that.
Hey, you know what? Good to know. Good to know. Let's do it. Let's do it. It's crazy. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I'm sure you guys don't get it. We're gonna try it. Christmas. That is actually ACOTAR term. Christmas. Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and save that one.
Would you recommend renewing a listing after updating?
You can. It gives it a little jog in the system if you want to pay that 20 cents, but it will like index relatively quickly. So it's not necessary. If you're making a lot of changes at once, you can go in and do it. Especially if you're doing like a big like overhaul, like maybe you learn that, oh, I had no idea that I'm supposed to add keywords into my listings. That would be one of those occasions where I would say it might be a good idea to go in and do something like that, but it's up to you. Just don't do it all the time. A couple years ago, it used to be strategy to go in and renew all of your listings to get that boost in search, that organic boost that comes from new listings. Etsy caught on to that and they started penalizing it. So I would only do that every once in a while. Well, I mean, why did I not save that? See, I'm talking and making updates. I'll do it though. I'll go ahead and renew a couple just to show you.
Do it.
I will. Hey, this one already says Christmas.
You prefer to update listings seasonally versus duplicating listings for each season?
Yes, because they maintain their listing quality scores.
Yeah, don't duplicate your listings.
Unless I'm doing a test. If I'm doing like an A/B split test, then yeah, I will. Okay. Edit. Get rid of that Valentine's. Christmas. Delete. We can well. Christmas gift. Add. Okay. It's not Year of the Dragon anymore, but I don't want to do the keyword research right now. I'm kind of flying through for the sake of flying through. Edit. Have we had any questions
We've been answering them as they've been coming in.
Oh, okay.
And I'm in here talking tech because I took my pills right before stream and I am just zooming.
Okay. Valentine's gift.
Just realizing all this PC talk and I haven't posted a picture of my new PC yet.
Christmas gift.
It's kind of wild.
And I love that I have a cover of Fourth Wing for nearly every color blanket we offer. Christmas. Scroll down. Christmas gift. Publish. Last one. Ed. Cozy rainbow. Christmas. Okay. Have I not been deleting the holiday deadlines out of here? Everybody's.
I don't think you have been. I haven't been paying attention because I'm in chat.
That's okay. I'm gonna go through and we did have a Pride one. Valentine's gift. Christmas gift. I was gonna say this would have been a really cute one for Pride, especially since Tracy Wolf's Crave series, one of the dragon shifters, is a gay character. His dragon is green, but we don't have a green dragon blanket. Out of all the colors we offer, we don't do green. We should do green. Okay, I think that I am pretty happy with where we are now. I'm pretty happy with how the storefront looks. We've got our fall stuff front and center. I need some pictures of Michelle in here. I only have these two of me. Okay. Well, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and cut it here with the screen sharing, unless you guys have specific questions. Again, it's really hard to go through and do this live because everybody's shops are going to be different. The main things that I like to use, again, are the health check and going through the listing audits, checking your visibility score, going through and sorting by the listings with the lowest visibility scores, going through and just looking for easy, quick wins like one-word tags, spelling errors. Obviously, go through and check those. I didn't because I know already that I use a lot of acronyms for the books, which are how most shoppers search for products related to those books. Most people don't search the whole A Court of Thorns and Roses. They just search ACOTAR. Now I make sure that I have the keywords for both in there, but things like that are going to get flagged for spelling issues. Same with photos. Make sure that if possible, you're using as many photo slots as possible. When it comes to the mock-ups, it does get a little bit more challenging if you don't physically own copies of every single product that you're selling. That's why some of those products, like the ornaments, for example, there's only so many mock-ups available. And I actually create those Christmas mock-ups. In fact, I would love to, if I've got the photos, I would love to show them these.
Okay. Let me know when.
Okay. For anyone who offers these glass ornaments, obviously it's a POD specific product. I created a really great mock-up for these that I can customize. So basically what I do is I take the mock-up with the clear product. I'll have to move it off to the side. Let me do a different image here. Let's do photos. Let's do Christmas background.
If you guys have questions, feel free to go ahead and get them in. They don't have to be relevant to the topic.
And then we'll just do this one. So basically what I've done is I have created a circle frame and added a layer of blur to it. I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. But what I can do is drag in the new background, right? Drag in the image that will be blurred into the photo frame. match up the size to the background image. Doesn't need to be perfect. Lock this image in place. And then we take the ornament. Usually what I do is, because it's really hard to, I usually have to drop it behind first so that it doesn't cling in. I really wish that they gave you...
use your left and right arrows to move it. You're clicked on something else now.
Oh, no, I'm not. Either way. And then we can bring it to the front. And you get kind of that blurred effect in the background. The way that I achieve that is by, we'll just grab a random photo again. We'll just do this one. And then we go into elements, the round frame, back into photos. We get it, you know, about the size that we want our ornament to be on the image. We grab the same image again. We click it, but we click edit, blur, whole image. You don't want to blur it too much because then you won't be able to tell. But like right about here, just so it looks like it's distorted through the glass. And then from there, I'll just grab this one. When we paste it on, it should line up pretty well. I need to, layers, grab this layer and even it up to the background.
You got some extra on the bottom.
There we go.
It's on the top right. Yeah, there you go. It's like the circles aren't the same shape.
I think they are a little off, but usually what I do is
play with it till it gets there.
Right. But anyway,
you get it.
Yeah, that's, and it made it really easy because then I could just go through. And when it came to putting the ornaments onto these listings, all I had to do was go through and paste them in to the different pages. So I was able to create a variety of really interesting, pretty ones that nobody else has. You can also go in to their mock-ups that they provide, that Printify provides, like this. Now, it's going to take away the center, but it's not going to take away what's in this exterior frame. So what you can do is find a Christmas background that has a similar color palette to what would be shining through. So let's kind of find something like this maybe. And drop it in the back layer. And then it matches, but it's different than what Printify provides so that you can have some variance. You could even increase the size a little bit. Yeah. Lots of different ways to spice up the mock-ups that you're already provided with. Okay.
All right. Got a couple questions. Not a bunch.
Sure.
So, knew that was going to come up.
Sure.
The Etsy boycott.
I posted a big thing about it. In the
here's the thing. I don't. What was Etsy's response? Are they actually removing listings?
No. So anytime something like this pops up, like it happened with some Nazi related merch, as well, a couple months ago, years ago. Here's the thing. You guys can understand this, but the general public doesn't. It takes Etsy time to catch on to stuff. It takes some time
for their lawyers to decide what they can do, for one.
It takes Etsy time to, first of all, figure out that there's an issue. It's usually when the wildfires get astronomical and then somebody at Etsy support realizes it. You guys know this. Etsy will end up taking these listings down.
I don't know.
But I think that they will, just based on how...
It's a coined term by a politician. That it's not up to them to coin whether or not this is hate speech. So I don't know whether... Here's the thing. It doesn't really matter what anybody's opinions of it are, regardless. The news are going to blow over.
Normalize it.
Right. It'll blow over.
Eventually
It'll blow over, usually in a week or two, and then everybody's going to forget that it even happened. That's how just about the next big viral thing will come up, whether it's good or bad, and everybody will forget about it. So it's not something really worth panicking about.
Yeah, I know that it's frustrating, but we have to remember that as sellers, there have been a lot of issues over the years on Etsy, and it takes Etsy a long time to solve them, not because they don't want to, not because they're in support of what's being sold, not because they have, a horse in this race, but because they're a business and it takes time to... I mean, it just took eRank over a week to put a little badge back on their website that you can download to say what percent of, shops you're in. Things like this do take time. And like Mark said, they have to pass through legal.
Yes.
My thoughts are exactly what he said. Right now, TikTok is running with it. It's a hot topic. It's a topic that makes people angry, which is going to perpetuate and make it, even hotter in fast trending media, which is, short form content, YouTube Shorts,
and
TikTok, Reels.
Threads and TikTok is where it's going to be spicy. It's sensationalism, and sensationalism doesn't go very far. So again, don't worry about it. It's not even worth your mind.
Yeah. I know that a lot of people are worried that it's going to affect like holiday sales. By the time the holidays roll, we know how the news is, even when it comes to things that we should be mad about, like, like major controversies and things. You ever like think back and you're like, man, that thing that I was like super mad about a couple weeks ago, like, why is nobody talking about it anymore?
Mm-hmm.
Again, attention spans are very, very short.
Now, I don't think this is going to be something that people stop talking about.
No,
I don't think this is going to be a continued thing. However, I do think the meme...
The Etsy thing.
I think the meme that is going around is going to stop. So, anyway.
Right. And I do think that I think that the anger is misdirected, and there are better places to direct that energy rather than at Etsy, who likely has no idea. Right. They probably don't even know yet that it's an issue. Right.
Like call your congressman or protest if you are so inclined.
Right.
Taking it out on Etsy is not the way that I think people should be handling it. But again, Etsy's not the... Imagine Etsy is your city and your neighbor builds a fence and you think that the fence is on your property. So you call the city and the city has contractors come out and take the fence down. And then it turns out you were wrong. The fence was on their property, and now the city's getting sued by your neighbor, and you're part of it. Like, that's kind of the situation that Etsy's in here. They can't just knee-jerk react and do something. They have to go through a process. They have to pay a bunch of lawyers, a bunch of stuff, and by the time the problem even, like, gets dealt with, the meme is over, and it's not even a problem anymore. People are going to get sick of it. The meme's going to die out.
Products fueled around hatred don't last. They don't. They're products that are meant to make you mad. They're a quick trend. They're usually listed for the sake of poking fun, and you don't see entire businesses built around that. You know what I mean? Like, you see products that pop up for a while, but I wouldn't worry too much about it in the long term. No matter what side you're on, regardless, I'm sure that you see in the media how quickly things like this pop up and disappear. So I'm not too concerned.
Our government is a business anymore. It's all about the memes. Should you change your listing photos for each season?
You can.
If you have a product that fits that season, there's not really any harm in it.
If it's a holiday related product, maybe, but it's not necessary. It sounds like a lot of work, honestly. Obviously for the holiday, like the ornaments, I'm going to make sure that the ornaments are on holiday backgrounds. And the ornaments they sell throughout the year. We do get a couple sales for those in the middle of the year, which is why I leave them listed, but I'm not going to change the background on a Christmas ornament to a Halloween background. It doesn't make any sense. So again, it's completely up to you. If you have the ability to add a little, holiday flair to your listing photos and you've got the time to do it, sure. It's not going to hurt anything. Just be cautious of your time. It does sound like a time suck for something that probably isn't going to be that beneficial. But if you want to, or, honestly, take that energy. If you're going to take those photos and add that like bit of holiday, fun to them, use them for social media. Like that's what I would do. If I'm going to take some holiday photos, I would use them for social media where the impact is going to be more temporary. Is our kid okay?
If not, she'd be screaming. So
they're slamming upstairs.
She dropped her cup.
Oh, and yeah, I it's up to you. It's up to you. Like I said, it sounds like a lot of time.
If I make my own ornaments, can I still use that type of mock-up? Why not?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I wonder if, let's see, I wonder if I can find, is there any, go ahead and share my screen. And then I'm going to duplicate this page. I'm going to remove. So let's say that I was doing my mock-up. I'm assuming that you don't have clear glass. I mean, if you do have a clear glass ornament, hooray. But I'm going to get rid of this one. Let's say that, I don't know. I'm gonna make a product. Are you guys ready? I'm gonna make an award-winning handmade product. Watercolor Christmas. And we're gonna pretend that I am a brilliant painter. And I have painted this beautiful ceramic ornament with my own 2 hands. Here we go. We're making believe right now. Okay. I have, you know what? We'll get rid of the wreath. Good enough. Good enough. I've painted this beautiful ornament, okay? And I'm ready to list it in my Etsy shop. So I have removed the background from it. What I would recommend doing if you're going to create your own mock-ups in Canva, be conscious of your layers. So in this mock-up, we can see a lot of different layers that I have added. There's also this black gradients that I use for adding text, but we'll get rid of that for now. So if I go into position, look at all of these individual branches that I'm utilizing. Then we have, if we ungroup these, I also have lights, Christmas lights, and each light I've added little shines to. See all the little shines on the lights? So what I would do is I would make sure that I'm using very dimensional handmade mock-ups. So I'll put this here. But then I'm going to make sure that I'm very cautious of how many layers are in front. It helps to give things a little more dimension. That's too much. Like that. And it adds a level of realism, I think, to the mock-ups. We can see that this light is kind of shining over top of the string or the ribbon. I think that that's the biggest thing that differentiates a good mock-up from a bad mock-up is how well how well the item naturally blends into the scene that you have created and how well you can make that mock-up look convincing. And that's also where, using a variety of mock-ups rather than the same one over and over again comes into play. That way, we're trying to convince someone that this is a real photo, that it's not just a mock-up that we got from our, print company. The objective here is to convince customers that this is a real photo. If the customer knows that it's a mock-up and they're not seeing the real product, they're going to be a little bit suspicious of the quality. So we don't want them to necessarily know immediately that what they're looking at is a mock-up. That's why, creating that variety, adding depth and dimension, and doing things that are a little different than what your competitors are doing is so important. And you don't necessarily have to buy one of every single product in order to achieve that. I do buy a lot of my own products to photograph them. I've got some fantastic product photos for our ornaments. They're not in this particular file.
We have a lot of questions.
That's fine.
Need to break up the collection, or a collection. Is it okay to use some of the pictures from the collection with each listing as long as the thumbnail is for the particular listing?
The full, you have a full collection of photos and you're wanting to...
I think they have a listing with a bunch of stuff in it and they want to break it into individual listings.
Yes. I would make sure that a majority of your photos showcase the singular item that you're wanting to sell. For example, I believe we have a photo similar to that in our listings. Okay, go ahead. So for example, if you are offering a whole collection of, for these, we did Court of Thorns and Roses tumblers. I added the collect them all and I gave, a couple different versions that we have. That's okay, but I wouldn't want all of the listing photos to show, all of the products, because I think that can lead to customer confusion. I think we did that with these two. Yes, same. So yes, I think you absolutely can, but I think you need to be really, really careful about how you go about it. That way the customers don't think that they're receiving all of the items.
Everybody talking about the Bezos wedding where he spent like $50 million renting out Venice. Yeah, I'm going to keep my hat out of that one. My shop has the new under banner where it doesn't have my photo today, so still testing. What's the best way to have your photo in the banner?
There's a couple different ways that you can do it if you choose to.
Is yours showing the photo today?
It's, are we in Edge? No, we're in Chrome. I think...
we are not in Chrome. I don't have Chrome on my computer. You are in Edge.
No, it's not showing today.
Okay. I don't put Chrome on my computer because I don't trust it.
Okay, so Opera is the one where it shows the old version.
Yes.
Got it.
And it's Opera GX too, so it'll probably be one of the last ones, if it ever even does get an update.
So it completely depends on how you want to style your banner. You can go ahead and share. You could go in and, let's see, let me just, nice lady. Oh, that's not a nice lady. None of these are nice ladies.
You don't know that? You put nice Addie.
There we go. Nice lady. We'll pretend this is me. Okay, so let's go into elements.
Now I gotta Google why Chrome isn't trustworthy. Google's losing a lot of money and has to make it up somewhere, and data collection is likely it. I don't trust Google anymore.
So I would just find a frame that fits your brand. So for example, if I wanted to add, I've got way too much on this banner already, but if I wanted to add myself into this particular banner, first of all, I would redo the entire banner because right now the banner is not styled in a way where I could even have a photo of myself. But
no.
if I wanted to, let's see. I am this lady right here with the money. That's me. I would try to find a way to layer it in with my existing, like, layers that I have. So
Somebody asked how you're getting that layers panel.
I'll show it in just a minute. Maybe I would want myself in front of the fog. But I would try to layer it in as naturally into the background as I possibly could. You know what I mean? Like, but that looks absolutely awful. So, oh no! We'll go ahead and delete her out. Okay. How to get to this panel. So normally what you're probably seeing. So we're in position, right? And normally you'll see one that just says arrange, where you can move things forward and backwards. And sometimes it doesn't cooperate very well. It's a lot easier when you're in the position tab to switch to layers. And then you can see all your individual layers and be able to arrange them the way that you want. If you have grouped assets, they will be represented as one singular item, but then you can take those assets and move them forward and move them back and all around. Okay. I thought about doing some type of like Canva live editing session. A lot of people have been asking me to do more live with Canva to show some of the little hacks and things.
And Miranda had said, did everyone see that the priority mail rates are going up? It's going to start at $10.50 for retail now.
Oh my lord. Yeah, I saw. It's insane.
When does it become a point where they outprice themselves and UPS and FedEx just become the better option always? Like, it's getting real close to that point.
I mean, it's already very close. I've actually been having more and more Etsy sellers ship with UPS.
Excuse me.
For like heavier items.
It's always been cheaper for the most part, especially if you do business stuff through them.
Oh, and guys, we totally forgot to shout out today's charity. Yeah. So for those of you who saw about the influencer,
don't say the S word.
I'm not, Michaela, who was cyberbullied. She was a fox rescue influencer who did a lot of great content for the Save a Fox Rescue. She ended up passing away by her own hands.
Yes.
Is that a safe way to say it on YouTube? You can't say the other word. And the Fox Rescue, they're like, they have a desperate plea out right now because they're really stuck because she was like the heart of their organization. It's been all over the news and all over social media. If you've seen anything about it, then I'm sure you already have seen the story. But
it's very sad.
Yeah, she did so much for the wildlife community and helping to rehabilitate foxes that were taken from the fur trade, foxes that were considered imperfect, that didn't have perfect coats, that would have just been killed. She worked on rehabilitating orphans and things like that. So they're scrambling right now. I thought that this would just be a really fitting time to support a charity like this. We're close to fall. I think of foxes when I think of fall, and Tina actually was one of the people who recommended that this be our charity, so I figured that this would be a really good one.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we'll be doing the Save a Fox Rescue for the rest of the month. Please consider
if you've got
donating.
A couple bucks to give what you can.
Absolutely.
It really does help. My items are mainly for a Texas thing. eRank hasn't been giving me a lot of help. Is there a better site, or should I just keep shooting for an A otherwise? So
there's a couple things wrong with what you've said.
So the grades are not how well your listings are going to perform. They are how well they conform to Etsy's best practices.
Yeah. So don't worry so much about the grades.
It's a good reference for like if you're missing something or if you did something specific wrong.
Is there a better site? So first of all, full transparency, I'm a manager at eRank. But when it comes to data, and I hear this all the time, which SEO tool is best? when it comes to data, data cannot be inaccurate so long as it is true. It only becomes more accurate the more that it is quantified. Data helps guide us in a direction, and that direction becomes more and more precise the more data that we have. E-Rank has a lot of data compared to some of our other competitors because we've been around longer and we have a larger customer base. That means that we're able to afford more data than many of our competitors have. Because of that, our data often does not match what our competitors have, and a lot of people assume that that's due to inaccuracy. It's not due to inaccuracy. It's due to accuracy based on quantity because we have more of it. The more data you have, the more accurate you get.
And the less guesses you have to take when presenting the information to people.
So what you're likely doing is trying to find a ton of words to describe what your item is. That's not always the best way to do it if you're creating a product that people aren't necessarily searching for. And I know that that's hard to hear, but we can't give you data based on what you want to see. We got to give you the data based on what people are actually searching for. Now, if you could be a little bit more specific, I might be able to help you more. But typically, sellers will try to find every way to describe. We'll just say that you're selling I'm making this up. I'm sure this isn't what you're selling, but let's say that you're selling a I Love Texas wooden wall sign. And you might try to think of all the words to describe wooden wall sign, wooden wall art, wooden wall decor, farmhouse wall decor, all the ways you could describe a wooden wall sign for someone in Texas. In reality, what if no one, or not no one, I'm not going to say that no one's searching for that product, but I'm going to guess that there are significantly less people searching for that set of terms than there would be making more generalized searches based on the core demographic. So it's not just what the item is, it's who is searching for it. Yep. So for example, gifts for Texas natives. I'm not saying that's a good keyword, but it's a wild guess. Housewarming gift. That might be a big one where it could pair with some of those other Texas related terms in a broad match where, you know, if you have housewarming gifts in there, maybe someone who is specifically searching for Texas housewarming gifts, or due to Etsy's personalization, you know, features, maybe their geographical location is more likely to match them to products related to Texas simply because they live there and Etsy already has that data. So if you have housewarming gift, maybe they're more likely to be matched with you because of that. So there are a lot of different ways to position your keywords that don't necessarily just point to exactly what the item is. Now, you should always lead your titles with exactly what the item is. But once you hit that point where you're running out of ways to describe what the product is, especially down in your tags section, that's where it's time to start thinking less about the what and more about the who and the why. The who being the type of customer that's going to buy it, the why potentially being the occasion that they might buy it for.
We're over time and you still have to record, so we got to go ahead and cut it here.
Was there anything super important?
No.
Okay, guys. Thank you. Oh, we are 6 minutes over time. We appreciate you guys so much. I know that this was, there's only 140 people here. I know that this was kind of a weird stream.
People liked it.
Yeah. Okay, good. If you want me to maybe do like a checkup on those listings, in the future and see how they're performing again, we can totally do that. Again, with it being a holiday, July 4th, we didn't expect a big audience today. And I don't want to use like one of the really good topics that we have in our back pocket, you know, for a stream when nobody will probably even hardly be here. But we appreciate you so much. I hope that this helped. The main thing I was excited to share was the new high conversion badge over in the new eRank Keyword Tool Beta. If you haven't tested out the Keyword Tool Beta, please do so. And if you have feedback on it, make sure that you click the little green eRank E logo down in the bottom right-hand corner. We have an amazing team of customer support gals, and they are actively taking notes on some of the feedback for this new version of the Keyword keyword tool that we're hoping to roll out as our permanent keyword tool version very, very soon. So the more feedback that you can provide and suggestions about this tool, the better, and the more quickly we can roll it out based on, you know, the improvements that you guys want to see. But thanks for hanging out, even though this was kind of a messy stream. Make sure that you're safe today. If you're lighting off fireworks, don't blow your fingers off. Lots of ER visits take place on... What
was that Instagram video we saw yesterday? Remember, 4th of July, if you blow your fingers off, it's the only legal opportunity you have to eat people.
It is. You know, if you blow off your finger, like give it a little...
Stick it on the grill next to the hot dogs.
It's the only time you can do it legally. You might as well, you know.
We'll just give it a shot.
They're not going to...
joking, by the way.
Well, I mean, they're not going to reattach it.
I don't
if it's
think it's technically... Cannibalism isn't technically illegal. It's the mutilation that's illegal, right? So...
Yeah, and if you get a limb removed, you can ask to keep it.
Yeah, so... This is a weird way to end a stream.
I follow an Instagram account called The 1 Foot Wanderer. She had her leg amputated, and she takes her skeletal leg with her everywhere. It's like all, you know, it's an articulated skeletal leg. She just takes it with her on adventures.
That's strange.
Yep. Very strange. Guys.
All right.
Thanks for hanging out.
We love you guys, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
She said this got dark.